I want to know where
Hey guys, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. So it's October. You know what this means for high school upperclassmen. Y'all are in the thick of it right now. That was me last year, which is crazy to think about, but y'all are thinking about college or what to do after high school, filling out college applications, researching colleges. A few of you who watched my last video, which was college move-in vlog here at Pepperdine University, Instagram DM'd me asking about it and like college in general, college applications, and Pepperdine specifically. So I think I'll do a video on my school specifically really soon, but today's video is just going to be about college applications in general, what to write your essays about, tips on how to lower stress, things to talk about with your family, how to decide a school, because it's a lot. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is personal matters because, okay, college is a very personal thing. It seems very like corporate sometimes, but it's really personal, guys. This is your life. This is your path. I think the special thing about college is like for high school, you didn't really have much of a choice of like where you went. It wasn't like that significant, at least not in America. But for college, you decide where to go. You decide if you want to go. Like, yeah, people might be telling you different things, but ultimately it's your choice of whether or not you want to go to college. So I just want to make sure that you're sure about your decision to go to college. I know a lot of teachers, classmates, family might be pressuring you to go to college right now, but if you don't feel like that's the right path for you, and only you'll know, honestly, because no one else knows you better than you know yourself. You're with yourself 24 hours a day, every single day. Trust yourself. Have a conversation with yourself about what you want to do after high school. People are always like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, so I guess I'm just going to go to college. But that, honestly, in my opinion, should not be the default. Okay, so the next personal thing is family and parents. This is actually bigger than you might think it might be because this deadass caused me so much stress and it could have been avoided. Like, if this alarm noise is how I felt all of my college application process because of these problems with my family. Basically, I thought that my parents and I were on the same page about college, and we really weren't. Some parents might want you to apply to a specific school. Some parents don't care. You know what I mean? So just like have that talk with them so that you don't end up like me. Because I know this also caused a big problem for one of my other high school friends. So be honest with each other from the start so that you have more time to be on the same page and figure things out. Because you know what? At the end of the day, your family is gonna help you pay for college in some way, shape, or form, or if not pay, just like help you in college. And plus, I'm sure you obviously like want your family's support. I did not do this. Basically, like what happened was a couple weeks before applications were due, I found out that my parents didn't want me to go to California, which is where I really wanted to go. And the page that I was on was I wasn't going to apply to any other schools outside of California, and they were like, that's hella foolish, like I don't agree with that, and they didn't really want me to come here, and so I thought that it wasn't going to work out. You know what, that's the last thing you need when you're already struggling with these essays and applications and you're stressing. That's kind of like the last thing that you need is for you and your parents to be arguing about college. Like, that's just not what you need. So be as honest as possible with them from as early as possible to have this open conversation so that you guys have more time and mend differences. And the next personal thing is mental health. I remember when I was talking about college with my high school friends, everybody was so stressed. And it's just normal. Like, stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. Stress is just a sign that your body is like getting ready for a big event, which I guess is good because it prepares you. But take care of yourself. Just remember, you are in control of your mindset. You are in control of your thoughts and emotions. And if you're stressing out about something that you can't control, you can control how you react to it. And be like, wait, you know what? I'm not going to spend my energy and time worrying about this. And that's how you grow a healthy mindset. And that's how you take care of yourself. And the last thing is kind of really important. Don't go to college because your friend or significant other is going there. I know that that's kind of tempting to just be like, oh, like a lot of people I know are going to this school, or this important person in my life is going to this school, so I'm just gonna go with them. No, like I said, college, not just college, life and fulfillment, and therefore college and learning are all very deeply personal things. This is your career. This is your education. This is your money that you're putting into this education of yours. So it's not really worth betting it on other people. You decide where to go to college based on the program of what you want to do, finance, how you think you're going to fit in and belong there, and that's what's most important, not your significant other or your high school friends. You know what I mean? Okay, moving on to logistics. I didn't know this, so they really should be more clear to you in high school about what college applications are going to be like, but they're not, so that's what I'm here for. When I was applying to college, I thought that we only had like one essay, and like this one essay was just going to be what gave our application personality, but that's not true. Basically every college has multiple essays for you guys to do. Like, yes, there might be a main one, but there will be supplemental ones after that. They're gonna be shorter probably. Like, I remember, I think the word limit was maybe like 300, 350, 400 words, something like that. But you're always gonna be able to express yourself in multiple ways. So don't freak out over this one big essay. You're gonna have multiple opportunities to talk about your life and to talk about what you've been through. Like, I remember for UCs, they have 4 supplemental essays. For Pepperdine, there was the big common application one, and then there was a smaller one that talked about like what impacts you and your faith, stuff like that. So the big thing is what to write in your college essay, right? So I really recommend going through past English assignments or just essays that you've written for various classes. Let me just start off by saying lots of college students write about the same thing when it comes to like things that you've been through, right? Because when administrators look at your college application, I heard that a lot of times it's not your name on the application. Like, they don't know your name. It's just like case 1514, like that's you. So the essay portion is to give your application a life, give it a name, give it a feeling. The thing is, lots of students tend to write about the biggest things that have happened in their lives, which happen to be very similar, which is kind of comforting in a way, because you're like, oh, but we're not that different at all. But basically the main few things that people write about all the time, because they're the biggest impactors of their life, is death, divorce, and moving. So you kind of want to avoid talking about that in your main essay. You can definitely talk about these in your supplemental essays. I think that's great, but for your main one, I think it's okay to diverge from that and talk about something else, even if it wasn't the most impactful thing in your life, just so that you can be different, because it's really hard to make an essay unique when the administrator has read a dozen more about the same thing. So personally, I wrote about an experience I had in middle school, and even though it wasn't the biggest thing that's happened in my life, it was still something that I learned something from. And like, you don't know how many experiences you've been through that have taught you something. That doesn't have to be like infinitely big in your life, but like you still drew something important from it. You can write about that. And at first, when my mom read the essay, she was like, nah, like this happened way too long ago and it wasn't like superbly important, you know what I mean? She wanted me to write about moving because we moved, and that was a big thing. But like, it's too generic, like I said. It was very tempting. I really thought about writing about the moving experience and death and all that, but like, I was like, I just can't. It's way too generic. Like a story about not defending your friend at school and watching her get bullied by educators, like adult educators, learning about justice and how to stand up for people, how to stand up for people who might not feel like they have a voice at the time. That's something that a lot of students don't write about in their essay. So just that topic itself already stands out. Sorry, y'all, my camera died. I'm filming my phone now. When they say grades aren't everything, it is not a joke. I was just talking to my sweet mate out there, and she said that she knows a kid who got a 1560. A 1560 on the SAT, and he did not get into UC Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara is a good school, but it's not like it's not that good, okay? It's not that good. So definitely he probably like was missing something on his application, or he messed up on one of the other parts. So even though he's obviously like intelligent and studious, because you don't get a 1560 without being one of those things, I'm guessing it had nothing to do with school. I'm guessing it had to do with like his essay or extracurriculars, because grades aren't everything. I got a lower SAT score than that, and I still got into UC Santa Barbara. So like colleges are weird, y'all. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. So definitely don't stress out too much if you don't think that your grades are like up to par with other people. I'd say just shoot your shot and apply to schools that you think you might not even have a chance at, because who knows? Who knows? Colleges are weird. Okay, so the process of how to pick schools. I'm not gonna get too into detail into this because this is another topic by itself. I can make a whole video on how to pick what schools you think are best for you and what to apply to. I'd say go on college tours if you can, because sometimes you'll just step on campus and you'll have a gut feeling of whether or not you belong there, or whether or not you can see yourself walking around this campus every day. I remember I visited UC Berkeley, and like right when I got on campus, I was like, nah, like it's a really good school, obviously, and I'm sure so many people feel at home there and love it, but college, again, is a very personal thing, and it's a very subjective thing. So it's not like other people can go up to you and be like, you're gonna like this school, you're not gonna like this school. You have to go to it yourself and trust your instinct. Again, trust yourself and know yourself. Also, what helped me research schools was Niche. I went on that website every day to like stalk schools. They offer a really comprehensive list of different factors of what play into a school, like athletics, professors, class sizes, and then they also have a section where college students of that school can make their comments. Honestly, what I saw on Niche was like, it was pretty accurate for Pepperdine, I think. Also, other websites like Uniqlo, Unigo, I think it's Unigo. They also have lots of forums where people will like ask questions about different colleges, and college students will respond. So go on YouTube. I remember I watched so many like UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, Pepperdine. I typed them all into YouTube and I watched so many videos just to get as much information and as much of the vibe of the school as possible. Also, another thing, I would always go on Instagram and Snapchat and I would type in the schools. So I'd be like USC on Snapchat, and then you can click on their Snapchat story and see what students do throughout the week or what they get up to on the weekends. And it's cool to see the school's vibe and community and what your life might be like if you go there. Also, I forgot to add about the essay for the writing style. Have people edit it, like re-edit it over and over again until you're happy with it. Make sure it has a flow, make sure it reads like a story, not like a robotic, because I've read some college essays that just sound so robotic. Like, what is this? You need to have a narrative, you need to have a voice, you need to have imagery, you need to make it imaginative, you need to make it colorful, put in descriptive words, imagery, make them feel like they're there, and be honest. That is a big thing. That's why I picked a topic that I was actually like, I had lots of feelings associated with it. You don't want to pick something just cause you feel like it'll make a good college essay, but you don't really have that much emotion attached to it, because it's all fake, and it doesn't feel good when you write something that's kind of forced, and it probably won't read as well as something that you actually have genuine beliefs and feelings towards. So I know this feels, I don't know, you probably feel like your world is either gonna crash or like form from this. That's how I felt, at least. But that's not how it works. Like, life goes on. Regardless of whether you got into your top choice or your last choice. Like, life goes on, dude. And you've just figured out from wherever you get off from. Your letter's gonna come back in the mail someday soon, and then you're gonna read it, and then you just pick it up from there and you figure things out. Just be honest and thankful and try to be as present as possible while anticipating the future. I think those are 3 biggest tips that I could give you. Just everything's gonna be okay, know that. Alright guys, I hope this gave you some advice and helped you kind of figure out some more information on the college application process. Also, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I think we hit it like last week or something, which is crazy. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, let me know what other college videos you want me to do. Any specific questions that you have, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can just leave it in the comments down below. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!